This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. Whether you're packing for a vacation or dressing for a wedding, Nordstrom has head-to-toe looks for wherever summer takes you. From swimwear and bold color to romantic florals and dresses that make an entrance, find the right style for every unforgettable moment. Shop new arrivals from brands you love like Farm Rio, Free People, Vince, Wave, and Stod. Plus free shipping and returns and styling help whenever you need it make it all so easy. Shop now in stores at Nordstrom.com or download the Nordstrom app.
Girl, winter is so last season. And now spring's got you looking at pictures of tank tops with hungry eyes. Your algorithm is feeding you cutoffs. You're thirsty for the sun on your shoulders. That perfect hang on the patio sundress. Those sandals you can wear all day and all night. And you've had enough of shopping from your couch. Done hoping it looks anything like the picture when you tear open that envelope? It's time for a little in-person spring treat. It's time for a trip to Ross. Work your magic.
Plan B is a backup birth control option that's there for you when things don't go according to plan. It specifically works after unprotected sex and before pregnancy occurs by temporarily delaying ovulation. Plan B is available nationwide at all major retailers and through delivery apps like DoorDash. No ID, prescription, or age requirement. It's the #1 OBGYN recommended brand of emergency contraception, and it won't impact your future fertility. That's freedom to be. Use as directed.
Hey, this is JJ Virgin. Welcome and thanks so much for joining me. This is Ask the Health Expert. Here I put the power of health in your hands and give you access to the top people in health and wellness. In each episode, I share safe ways to get healthy, lose weight, heal your gut, detox, and lots more. So if you want to get healthy and get off the dieting for life merry-go-round, I'll give you strategies that will help you look and feel better fast. I have one of my favorite people back on the show for, maybe 5th, 6th, 7th time because he is a crowd pleaser. Yes, I have Dr. Daniel Amen with me, and I have known Daniel for, 20 plus years. I actually sought him out and went to an event I knew he'd be at so I could meet him in person because I wanted his help with my son, Grant. And he was in my documentary, You Are Stronger Than You Think, talking with Grant about the SPECT scans he had pre and post Grant's accident and what he could do to get better. So he was one of the key reasons Grant was able to get better. Actually visited me with his wife, Tana, in the hospital with Grant. So I have quite a warm place in my heart for Dr. Daniel Amen. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He is, he's one of America's leading psychiatrists and brain health experts, if not the leading psychiatrist. He has authored or co-authored 9 professional book chapters, 85 scientific articles, and more than 40 books, including New York Times mega bestseller, Change Your Brain, Change Your Life. He's appeared on numerous television shows, including Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, The Doctors, Today Show, Good Morning America, and The View. And his public television shows have been aired more than 130,000 times across North America, seen by millions of viewers, where he's taught on memory, attention, mood, nutrition, and more. In fact, the Washington Post has called him the most popular psychiatrist in America, and he has these incredible Amen clinics. That is where I took my son. And actually, after my car accident, I went as well, that sees over 8,500 patients a month. And he has really brought functional brain scans to the forefront. He's done over 200,000 scans now, as well as he's appeared in movies, including Quiet Explosions, After the Last Round, and The Crash Reel, and was a consultant for the movie Concussion, starring Will Smith. He has also appeared on the Emmy Award-winning show The Truth About Drinking, and he's been featured in Newsweek, Time, Huffington Post, ABC, World News, 2020, BBC, London Telegraph, Parade Magazine, New York Times Magazine, Washington Post, LA Times, Men's Health, Bottom Line, and Cosmopolitan, and on the Ask the Health Expert podcast. All right, so I am so happy to have Dr. Daniel Amen with me today. We will be right back to dig into how to be you happier.
At first, I didn't think it was real. I woke up to this blinding light, and I was transported to another place. Pluto TV! Then I heard a voice.
Come with me if you want to live.
There were thousands of movies and shows, and they were all free.
The truth is ours.
It's just so beautiful.
On Pluto TV, free streaming of Terminator 2, Fringe, Arrow, The 100, and The X-Files may cause excitement, loss of sleep, and sudden belief in extraterrestrials. No credit cards or alien encounters necessary. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
One crunchy bite of a Hershey's Cookies and Cream Bar, and I'm taken right back to college move-in day. I was a little overwhelmed by the newness of it all. Boxes were everywhere, I needed a break from unpacking. But just as I was able to take a breath and open my Hershey's Cookies and Cream Bar, my new roommate Rachel walked in. I offered her a piece, but she said no. Then after a beat, she said, actually, those are my favorite ones. We laughed. The ice was broken, and we've been friends ever since.
Hershey's. It's your happy place.
Dr. Daniel Amen, you're back. I was trying to think, how many times have you been on the show?
A lot.
A lot. And I'd have you every week if I could, because you are a crowd pleaser and always with the latest, greatest information. You know, you just keep reinventing. And I am really excited about this book. Seems like perfect timing for it, but I'd love to know what made you decide to write You Happier.
Well, when I saw the statistics that we are the unhappiest we have been since the Great Depression, that I'm like, oh no, we need a way out. And so I wrote what was really my way out of this disaster that we are in. Depression was at epidemic levels before the pandemic, tripled in just a matter of months. We know now it's doubled in children. Suicide is at a level I've never seen. I've been a psychiatrist for 40 years, and it's horrifying. But there's a way out, that there's actually a neuroscience to happiness. It's a daily practice. And if you can understand these 7 secrets, and I call them secrets because all the books on happiness, they're not talking about the idea that brain health is the foundation of happiness, and it has to be geared to your type, that everybody's got a different brain. And what makes some people happy makes other people miserable. And so let's stop with the one size fits everyone.
Well, that makes a ton of sense. Before we go there, because now, of course, we have to know the 7 secrets. Why, beyond just what's happened over the last 2 years, like what has created this unhappiness epidemic?
Well, the last 2 years for sure, but we were
right. Besides that, because it sounds like we were already on our way.
I just started a new series on TikTok. You know, I have 1,300,000 TikTok followers. It's just
no kidding
to me. And
That's
I
crazy.
figured it out for anybody who's watching that wants to be on TikTok, is write down 100 of the things you say all the time. Like you say the same things all the time, like the 3-bite rule. And you know, do it in 30 to 60 seconds. And that's what people want. They want snackable content. And I just started a series on Instagram called If I Was an Evil Ruler. And I wanted to create mental illness. What would I do? Well, I'd basically create American society. 88% of Americans are metabolically unhealthy. And in large part,
that study was before the pandemic.
And it was before the pandemic. And, you know, the amount of obesity in teenagers and young adults skyrocketed during the pandemic because they were stuck at home. They couldn't go to the gym. And, you know, DoorDash was the big winner. So if I was an evil ruler, I'd create the food system. We have in the United States. And if I was really an evil ruler, so I think this is evil ruler genius. And my wife tells me I always get in trouble when I pick on the Girl Scouts, is I'd have little girls selling sugar and bad food
Oh
to the
boy.
population. Because this is not good for you. You have to read the label of the Samoas and the peanut butter cookies. And there's so many. There's 62 evil ruler strategies I'm going to talk about. Our society is built for illness, not health. And I was talking to a friend of mine who's from Mexico City, and we were talking about the drug cartels and how they're just damaging Mexico. And I'm like, well, we have our own drug cartels here. And the big winner in the pandemic is the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah, we just have the government supporting them
And
outright.
the government supporting them, that anti-anxiety medications, which are addictive and cause dementia, are up 34%. Antidepressants are up 20%. It's insane how we are. This is not happiness. This is dependence. This is sadness. This is brain fog. And the other thing, JJ, I've seen is COVID damages the brain. So I'm not a COVID denier. My dad actually died in part from COVID. And what we've seen on scans, because that's what we do at Amen Clinics, we do imaging, it's like a little bomb goes off in the brain and it causes inflammation. Now, that's not to say the vaccines can't do the same thing, but with 140 million Americans exposed to COVID, if you get it, over the next 6 months, you have a 20% increased risk of being diagnosed with a mental health challenge, anxiety, depression, OCD. Even we're seeing psychosis with this. And
What's
so,
your risk if you weren't? That's a 20% increased. So so it's not just that people are stuck at home and all of that. This is 20% above everybody else already being diagnosed because of everything going on.
right.
Okay.
So just the fact that you had COVID.
Okay, so this is painting quite a bleak picture. So, which probably is making people more unhappy. So I know that that you must have done all this research if you knew there was a way to reverse it. Otherwise, that would just be the book called You Unhappier, right?
So the way out is one, realize that happiness and seeking happiness is a moral obligation. And why do I say that? It's actually from a video by Dennis Prager I love called Why Be Happy. And I grew up Roman Catholic, and I'm grateful for my Catholic education. But I can guarantee you that idea that happiness is a moral obligation was nowhere to be found in my family, in the schools I went to, in church. No. But why is it a moral obligation? Because of how you impact other people. I can guarantee you, if you were raised by an unhappy parent, married to an unhappy spouse, or raising an unhappy child, whether or not happiness is an ethical issue, and all of those people would say yes. So it's not selfish to seek happiness. It's altruistic. Now, let me say that hedonism is the enemy of happiness. And one of the lies of happiness is I need more of something in order to be happy. Well, that's a lie. I mean, all of us know about celebrities who end up killing themselves. They had plenty, but they didn't have happiness. And so, what makes you happy in large part depends, one, on the health of your brain. I did a study for this book on 500 consecutive new patients to Amen Clinics. We gave them the Oxford Happiness Questionnaire, and then we compared the happy group with the unhappy group. And the unhappy group had unhealthy brains, that they had overall lower blood flow to the brain. We're doing a new study on hope, and it seems it's the same.
Wow. So I would imagine exercise is going to be a very important thing here for
Well,
happiness.
so for secret number one is the foundational secret of happiness is the physical health of your brain. So automatically, you should be thinking exercise to increase blood flow to the brain and an anti-inflammatory diet, which also increases blood flow to your brain. And there's actually specific foods like beets and oregano and cayenne pepper that have been shown to increase blood flow along with cinnamon. And so that's the first foundational secret. And this is why you should not let your children, especially girls, hit soccer balls with their heads. It's just insane. What it's another evil ruler
Well,
strategy.
but also like volleyballs, and my husband's kids are both volleyball players, and I started looking at volleyball and brain injuries. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't have thought volleyball, right? But the head, the balls bang off their heads too. It's just
Well, and especially those people who are tall and who are at the net, that they get
yeah.
whacked
Do you
with
know that
balls.
Tim's son is now 6'9"?
Oh my goodness.
We're like, where did that come from? Yeah, number one volleyball recruit in the country. So I was like, all right, let's protect his brain. It's too bad we can't
Protect his brain.
put
And I did the big
helmets on
NFL
them.
study. NFL players in my study had 4 times the level of depression as the general population. Isn't that crazy? So that's secret number 1, get your brain right. Secret number 2 is target strategies to your brain type. Everybody's different. And I, over the years, have created these 16 brain types that are basically based on 5 fundamental types: balanced, most anything will make you happy, you have a very healthy brain.
How many people do you see like that?
About 30% of our
Wow.
people. Now, I don't know if their spouses would concur. Type 2 is spontaneous. That's my ADD group. Sleepy frontal lobes. They love novelty and surprises. They're creative. They hate routine, and easily distracted and often late. Type 3 is our persistent type. They hate surprises. They love routine. They tend to worry and hold grudges. And if things don't go their way, they get upset. But the thing that makes them happy is routine. The sensitive type, that's type 4, they love connection. The pandemic was really hard on them. And type 5 is cautious, and they're security freaks. So type 2 would love jumping out of an airplane, and type 5, there's just not going to happen. It makes them sad, makes them miserable. And so knowing your type then helps you know what supplements would be best for you, what behavioral strategies will be best for you. And one of the things I ask people to do is look for the micro moments of happiness. What's the smallest thing that happened today that made you happy? Like I have strawberry tea and I love strawberry tea. So just this taste
Well,
of
and
it.
plus you've got a mug, like a massive mug of strawberry tea. But this is going to sound like a ridiculous question, but how do you know if you're really happy? Is it just obvious? Like, is there a thing that you say, oh, that made me really happy?
Well, we did a 30-day happiness challenge, and we actually gave people the Oxford Happiness Questionnaire. And that is a really good indication on whether or not someone is happy or not. It's rated on a scale of 1 to 6. And if you're above 4.5, that's probably a good place to be. If you're 6, that's actually a bad place to be because you're so happy you won't get anything done.
Got it. So, all right. So you've got the types, and what you do lifestyle wise, supplement wise, is going to differ based on the type. Like I would personally like to jump out of the plane and don't want to be in a routine. That would make me crazy. And you know that already because you know me. As you're describing these types, I'm like, type 2 sounds great.
As long as
Perfect.
you're married to type 3, because if you're married to a type 3, then, there's chronic conflict. And if you know the type of your partner, and people can learn their type brainhealthassessment.com, brainhealthassessment.com.
All right, we will get all this, brainhealthassessment.com. We're going to put all this stuff on a page so we can get you all linked up. We'll put them all in the show notes because there's lots of good stuff going on here. So the brainhealthassessment.com, does that tell you which type you are?
It does. And also tell you how healthy your brain is likely to be.
And is that based on things like, how you eat and your stress and your sleep and what you've done historically sports-wise and environment, or what's it based on?
All of that. And memory, flexibility, focus, energy. Yeah, it's only 38 questions, so it takes people 5 or 6 minutes to do, but it really gives you great information, including what your type is. And then based on your type, our secret 3 is you need to supplement your brain. And my favorite happiness supplement is saffron.
Yeah, I saw that. You sent me some of that. So let's talk about saffron. I think of saffron and paella.
Right. It's the world's most expensive spice. Pound for pound, it's more expensive than gold. But I created something called Happy Saffron because there are 24 randomized controlled trials showing it's equally effective to antidepressants, except rather than most antidepressants, which sort of knock off your sexual drive and function, saffron has been shown to improve it. Plus, saffron is.
And so we're just keeping that out there as a secret because, isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh.
So I'm a huge fan. And so I created Happy Saffron in the dose used in the studies, mixed it with zinc and curcumin because both of those independently have been shown to enhance mood. Now, part of it depends on your type, and I think we agree most everybody should take a really healthy multiple vitamin, high dose, high quality fish oil, optimize your vitamin D level, likely a probiotic given the state of the food in our society. But then the supplement needs to be geared to your type. So type 2, we make something called focus and energy to pop up someone's frontal lobe. Type 3, serotonin mood support to calm down their frontal lobes that tend to work too hard. Saffron for all the types, really, but it's masterful for the sensitive people, and GABA for my cautious group. In fact, when I gave Tana's the cautious group, security oriented, and she did fine during the early parts of the pandemic. But when the societal unrest happened, she got very anxious. And so I gave her, we make GABA calming, and she became so nice. It was shocking. It was lovely.
And I would imagine too, when someone's really got everything else dialed in, like the thing we can't do with supplements, because we got to always remember the name supplements, like you got to get the diet and lifestyle and all and the baseline foundational stuff. Then when you do these things like what you just saw can be amazing. And what gets me frustrated with supplements is someone's eating garbage, not sleeping, stressed out, and they'll go, okay, I'm going to try this thing. I'm like, well, hold on, got to get everything else on board here. How quickly do you see with the saffron? How quickly do you see, because, with antidepressants, takes a while, right?
Well, I was just with my mother-in-law in Florida, and she was telling me since the pandemic, she was feeling sad. She's 75. And I'm like, well, I have Happy Saffron here because I take it every day. And I gave it to her, and within 3 days, she said she felt much better. My assistant was feeling blue during the pandemic, and I gave it to her. And 2 days later, her son goes, "You're humming."
We should
Why
just
are
put this
you
in the water.
Well, I love it. And, as opposed to the side effects that many antidepressants have, this, I've just not seen side effects.
It's so crazy. The difference between drugs and side effect and supplements is like these supplements have these side benefits, right?
Right.
You're like,
And people go, oh, but, they could be dangerous. Compared to medication, they are 1,000 times less dangerous. I mean, when you really look at the statistics, and, in medical school, they taught us first do no harm, use the least toxic, most effective treatments. And, I thought when I started imaging people and saw the biology of the mental health challenges people saw, I'm like, oh, I'm going to use more medicine. Well, I, in fact, use way less medicine because I realized the brain is an organ, like your heart is an organ. If I can get you to eat right and exercise and supplement and do secret number 4, which is only love food that loves you back.
Amen, Dr. Amen.
We're in a relationship with food, and I think both you and I have been in bad relationships in the past. And I refuse to do that anymore. And, I'm married to my best friend, and I'm damn sure not doing it with food.
Well, don't you think most people just have never connected the dots? They don't, and I'll give you my example of my darling Bryce Virgin, who I said, Bryce, whenever you eat pizza, you get a migraine. Oh, mom, that's not true. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've been watching. I watch. That's what happens. And this was when he was late high school, and I'd be out, and a pizza would get ordered. I'm like, I can totally correlate it. And he goes off to college. He's so afraid that he's going to miss college because of migraines that he stops eating gluten and dairy and never has another migraine. It's like, okay.
And that's what I want for my patients. I always say, we're going to do a master's course in you. And we're just going to pay attention to what helps you be happy, and what makes you sad, or what makes you hurt, or what makes you have digestive issues. And if people can just start paying attention, but no, you're in a relationship with food. And I only want to love things that love me back. I did this big project at Saddleback Church, the Daniel Plan. And one of the pastor's wives told me she would rather get Alzheimer's disease than give up sugar. And my eyes got really big. And I looked
Wow.
at her and I'm like, did you date the bad boys in high school? That's like a bad relationship. One of my favorite parts of the new book is secret number 5, master your mind and gain psychological distance from the noise in your head. And I have a new exercise, but I talk about killing the ants and positive psychology. I start every day with today is going to be a great day. I end every day with what went well today. But what was new is give your mind a name. Because this idea of psychological distance from the noise, because thoughts come from all sorts of places. They come from our genes, from the voices of our parents or siblings, the news, the music you listen to, social media, and your thoughts, they just lie all the time. If you can name your mind, then you can choose to listen to it or not. And I don't know, were you any good at talking back to your parents when you were a teenager?
A little bit. Yeah.
um, and we have kids that talk back, but I never learned to talk back to myself.
So what did you name your mind?
Hermie, which is after the pet raccoon I had when I was 16. And I loved her. I mean, literally, I had a pet raccoon, and but she was a troublemaker. She TP'd my mother's bathroom one day. She ate all the fish out of my
So
sister's
she did the things you wanted to do, sounds like.
Well, no, I never wanted to eat the fish out of my sister's aquarium. She'd leave raccoon poo around. And it's just like my mind. It just stirs up trouble. And so now, because I have named my mind, that when Hermie gets out of control, I can put her in the cage. Or more recently, I'm like, oh, you want to stir up trouble. So in my mind, I'll just put her on her back, because I used to do that, and tickle her and play with her. And it's like, you don't have to believe every stupid thing you think. It's not the thoughts you have that make you suffer. It's the thoughts you attach to
Mm.
make you suffer. Because everybody, Seinfeld once said, the brain is a sneaky organ. We all have weird, crazy, stupid, sexual, violent thoughts that nobody should ever hear. And just because you have a thought has nothing to do with whether or not it's true or even whether or not you believe it. So it's really separating ourselves from the monkey mind in our heads. And happiness is literally not being attached to the negativity.
Good one. I was just thinking as you were saying that, one of the things that's happened is Grant came out of his coma and really came back into his body and started to be able to, articulate, et cetera, was his monkey mind was, "Bup, bup, 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 bup," and he just thought that was all reality. I'm like, no, honey, everyone's got a monkey mind that says all this crazy stuff all the time. We all do that. You just, it's not real and you don't have to act on all those things. Oh, so.
So what would you name your mind?
Well, when you were first describing it, I'm like, it sounded like you described it as someone you didn't like. But then when you described it that way, I'm like, all right, I have to think of something that I always loved growing up. Like that was maybe fun. Although even my younger self, I would call myself the bad ballerina. Because I actually got in trouble right before a ballet recital and got in a little fight with another ballerina, which resulted in like hair pieces flying and leaves and everything else. We're 5, right? My mom's like, so.
Oh, so the bad ballerina shows up.
Yeah, it's probably the bad ballerina.
Doing this series on Instagram called Scan My Brain, where we take influencers, scan them, and I evaluate them. And we're just getting ready to publish Carrie Ann Inaba, the judge from Dancing with the Stars. And I love her so much. We have a before and after series with her, and she named her mind Psycho Sandy. Because it could get really out of control. But over time, over the months that I've seen her, she's really made friends and she helps Psycho Sandy settle down. So she doesn't need to murder her. She just needs to know I can choose to listen or I can choose to not listen. And I have a police officer who named his mind Andy after his pet parrot because the parrot knew 8 words. It was the same 8 words over and over. He goes, that's what my mind does. The same thing. You're a fool. You're a failure. You'll never be better. And so now he said, when my mind starts to do that, I just metaphorically put the cover over the.
That is so good. It's also good for people to hear because, I think what Grant was sitting here thinking he was the only person who ever had these thoughts. And I'm like, honey, we all do that all day, every day. There's all this stuff going on. Like, unless you start to be aware of it, right? I mean, it's just people, your brain's out there chattering.
Well, and ultimately happiness and mental discipline is a daily practice. People don't understand that. Oh, I went to therapy and it didn't work for me. It's like, but are you doing good psychological habits day in and day out, right? You can't be 50 pounds overweight on Monday, have a salad, and expect to be trim.
Oh, come on.
Friday, right? I mean, that's just silly.
I think part of the challenge, and I love the fact that there's also the happiness scales, because the challenge is, you work out and you can go, wow, okay, I can, lift more than I could a month ago. You can quantifiably see differences. And so I've been meditating, which in itself is an amazing situation. I actually do this every single morning without fail. Just made the commitment. But the challenge, and I just went, I'm going to treat this like going to the gym. It took me a while to start to get any kind of results at the gym. I'm not going to see a difference in a week meditating. Let's be. So I think the challenge with a lot of this is how do you quantify the change? How do you be able to shift the difference? Because I think I'm doing this and nothing's happening. So why should I spend the time there?
Well, so there are measurements like the Oxford Happiness Questionnaire. I have my patients rate, whatever we're really working on, but typically it's their mood, their anxiety, their energy and focus on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 is awful, 10 is great. And then do these interventions and, well, let's see, are those numbers going up? Because if they're not going up, then it could be something else. It could be you
Mm.
have COVID and you have an inflamed limbic brain. It could be your thyroid's off. It could be you have mold in your house, right? And that's, I think, really what's unique about my message and work is it could be your brain. And when you're doing the right things in your brain and you're not getting the results, it could be something else. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's this epidemic of low testosterone in, you know, young men particularly. I've never seen anything quite like it. And, is that the toxins we're putting on their bodies? Is it
I
what?
mean, there's so many things it could be. It could be all of the stress. It could be the xenoestrogens all over the place. Like there's so many different things that are going on that could be lowering testosterone. You're like, which one is it?
Right.
And it's
But
all of them.
getting
Just
rid
like
of,
what's hurting your brain. Like it's all of these things together, right? So let's go to did we do number 6? We did number 5, right? Number
we
5
did
was
five,
mindset.
6. I love 6
6.
so much. Is notice what you like about other people more than what you don't. If you want to be happy, you have to give it away because it's in the act of giving that you get to keep happiness. So when you give happiness away by noticing what you like more than what you don't, you're actually creating your own happy support group. And so many people are focused on what's wrong about their children or their partner or their boss or their coworkers. And if you notice that and that's your primary thing you're paying attention to, you're actually going to get more of that. You are reinforcing the behaviors that you notice. And so I collect penguins. I actually have 2 of them behind me. Because when my son, who's now 45, when he was 7, he was hard for me. He's argumentative and oppositional. And I was a child psychiatry fellow at the time, which means I'm training to be a child psychiatrist. And I was talking to my supervisor, and she says, you need to spend more time with him. And so I took him to a place called Sea Life Park in Hawaii, on Oahu. And they had all sorts of cool sea animal shows. But at the end of the day, we went to the penguin show. And the penguin's name was Fat Freddy. And he did all these amazing things. Jumped through a hoop of fire, bowled with his nose, counted with his flippers, uh, jumped off a high dive. And I'm like, whoa. And at the end of the show, the trainer asks him to go get something. And he goes and gets it and brings it right back. And in that moment, time stopped for me because when I asked Anton to get something for me, he doesn't want to do it. And, he wants to have a discussion about it for like 20 minutes. And I knew he was smarter than that penguin. And so I went up to the trainer afterwards and I said, how'd you get Freddie to do all these really cool things? And no lie, she looked at my son and then she looked at me and she said, unlike parents, whenever Freddie does anything like what I want him to do, I notice him. I give him a hug and I give him a fish. And the light went on in my head that even though my son didn't like raw fish,
I was going to say, so Anton got fish.
my daughter Chloe actually loves sushi, so it would have worked for her. But even though he doesn't like raw fish, when he did the things I wanted him to do, I didn't pay any attention to him because I was very much like my dad. I just sort of expected compliance and I noticed what was wrong. And so I collect penguins as a way to remind myself to notice what I like about people in my life. And it is such a powerful technique. And I know, I mean, Tana, she has red hair. If I spent a lot of time noticing what I didn't like, I'd make her sad and mad. And there are things I don't like, but that's not where I focus. I focus on how amazing she is. And then she actually becomes more amazing. You are powerful by what you pay attention to. And that goes nicely into 7, which is live each day based on clearly defined values, purpose, and goals. Because purposeful people are happier and they live longer. Now, you got to have the foundational stuff like brain health and brain type and supplements and right food, and disciplining your mind. But I find that this is just critically important. That if you're, Tony Robbins says, happiness is progress. Well, you have to know where you're where you're going for your health, for your wealth, and for your relationships and work. So if I know that I want a kind, caring, loving, supportive, passionate relationship with my wife, then every day I go, is my behavior getting me what I want? As opposed to you're not doing this, you're not doing that. That victim mindset, you're going to be unhappy. But it's like, no, this is what I want. What am I doing today to make that happen? And so the question, each of these secrets have a question. The question for 7 is, does it fit? Does my behavior fit the goals I have for my life? And I think this is the one reason why I've been as successful as I've been. I've been very focused on, I've been telling my brain what I want. And it's not selfish, right? Because most people I think are like me and they want goodness in their lives. But does it fit? You know, if I was going to get a tattoo, I don't have any yet. I'm thinking about it. But does it fit would be one of the first ones.
I can't wait to see that one.
Maybe right on the
Daniel with the tat. I don't know about that. I just maybe try a henna one first, just to try it on.
Maybe I'll do it on my neck.
Yeah, just get a little wife beater shirt, come back with a little henna tat. That'll be great. Oh my gosh. This is such great information. It really feels like it lends itself to, like, you know, again, you said you had a challenge, a course, a workbook. Like, there's just so much to dig in here with this. It's fantastic. It's definitely one that you're going to want to grab. You Happier. And I'm going to put everything. I know that you said you have a You Happier cookbook. What thing should I put at the link where I'm going to list everything everyone can grab?
So You Happier, if they order the book, Tana has a new cookbook.
Nice.
They can download.
Tana is an amazing chef. Holy smokes. Like, she is incredible with what she can cook. Like, you will never, ever complain that things don't taste good when you're eating healthy, any of that ridiculous whining. It's fantastic. So that's super cool. I want to put your assessment, also the Oxford happiness score, and your link to your saffron, your happy saffron. So we will get all of these things in one easy place so everybody can get it. We'll put it at jjvirgin.com/You Happier. Go imagine that. You Happier. Because I have so many links for things of yours over the years. And gosh, I can't think of like a better time for this book to come out. I'd love to have you share a story of someone. I think this is a great way to wrap it up. Someone who came in scoring low and was able to turn it around using your techniques.
So we did a 30-day happiness challenge on Amen University. We had 32,000 people sign up. And every day we give them a short video, like 6-7 minutes, on one of the principles from the book. And at the end of 30 days, they were 32% happier. And not only that, their energy went up and their memory went up. I was so excited. And I have so many great stories, but one of them...
32%. Could you imagine if that was a drug?
It would
right.
be
right.
You could patent.
Yeah.
You could patent the program. Maybe we should do that. But one of our testimonials, she said, I had no idea that I was responsible for my happiness. I was always expecting other people to do it for me, and that's why I was disappointed. And I just love that. And she said, happiness is a habit. It's a daily choice by the things you do. And that one gave me goosebumps.
Yes.
And another one who said, my husband watched me do it and he started doing it too. And his relationship with our autistic son got so much better.
Mm. This is big, big, big work. Like, this is so good. It's like teary good.
We actually did the challenge at Amen Clinics. I have 10 clinics around the country now, new one in Florida.
Yay.
And Brain MD. So all of the units at Amen Clinics. And it was so fun. And then what they did is each team produced a video for me on the impact that it made. So we're going to try and take happiness into businesses, schools, churches.
So good.
Daily practice.
So good. It's so good. So good. Thank you so much for your time and for all your work. This is just fantastic. And I will do my part to get it out there as well. And for everybody listening, this one needs to be shared far and wide. So again, I'm going to put all of the resources that Dr. Daniel Amen talked about at jjvirgin.com/you happier. And thank you again. So appreciate you and everything you do. Oh my gosh. That was one of my favorite all-time podcasts, and one that I'm going to ask you to do me a favor with. Please share this. I can't think of anything more important right now, and I'll tell you a little story. I've been going to Dr. Joe Dispenza workshops for the past year and a half, and the last one, when he talked about what would you love, like what would be the thing you'd want to draw to you, and I go, I just really want to be happy. And I'm listening to this going, and I was talking to Dr. Daniel Amen offline, and he goes, it really shifts things when you hear that you have a moral obligation to be happy. Like, this is something that you want to put at the forefront. Think how many things shift just by doing this. So again, share this with your friends, and reminder about all of the cool stuff I'm going to have at jjvirgin.com/you happier. Link to the book. You can get Tana's amazing You Happier cookbook when you grab the book, and also the link to Dr. Amen's questionnaire and then the Oxford Happiness Assessment. So all that will be in one place, making it easy peasy for you. And and we'll put something about the happy saffron too. And again, thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, come on. I don't want you to miss anything. So subscribe to jj.com, and I'll see you next time. Bye.